Welcome to another episode of Behind the Scenes Britton with me, Clive Britton, where we delve into the minds of ordinary and extraordinary people to find out what's really going on behind the scenes in today's Britain. But before we move on, I'd like to introduce, as always, my co-host and producer of the show, Will G. Jones. How's it going, Will?
Yeah, all good, Clive. Looking forward to it.
We would like to welcome our guest today, family man, keen car enthusiast, company director of County Tree Surgeons and top drummer for the Gas, Lee Farrow. Welcome to the show, Lee.
Hey, thanks for having me, Clive. Pleasure to be here.
So Lee Farrow, born 1978. In our estimations, that makes you a Gemini.
I am indeed.
Geminis are known for being intelligent, sociable and adventurous.
Yeah, I'm nodding.
They're also known for being quick thinking, adaptable and playful. Does that sound like
That's about
anything
right.
like-
That's about me. Yeah, ring some bells.
Yeah.
Right, we understand you and your family built up a successful tree surgery business over a 35-year period that is highly
That's right.
respected and still in operation today, being one of the only select few to hold the Royal Seal of Approval.
That's correct, Clive. Yeah.
Please educate us, Lee,
Well,
and our audience, and please give us as much history as you can. Start from the start.
so from the start, Dad started the business in 1987 on his own with a Ford Orion. Do you remember them back in the day? Yeah. And he had an old wooden trailer. And since then, we've just sort of progressed and grown. The family, all the family works for us. My dad started, and then my brother came along, and then I joined the business, and now we employ over 30 people.
1987. That was the time that was that the
was
Great
short-
Storm.
Yeah, it was shortly before the hurricane, just
Right.
before the hurricane started. That was
So that would have
started
been
a
nice
month-
for business.
It was and it wasn't. So he had a lot of work coming at the time when the hurricane hit, but didn't have the capacity to do anything about it because it was obviously just one man with a trailer and a Ford Orion. And then when it all finished, no one had wanted anything to do with trees. So it was a recession with tree work after that. So it was good and bad.
So
It was
how
good
did you
and bad.
manage to how would you manage to rebuild that up?
Just basically just wait for the recession to end, and then we just kept a constant. We've always just sort of plodded on with the business and just kept on going. You know, we chipped away at it, and here we are now, 35 years later, and one of the biggest tree surgery companies in the southeast,
Wow.
and highly respected.
It's
Yeah,
all
so
been ups and downs, really, has
it,
it?
it has been ups and downs, but you know, we did it for the passion, nothing else. It was all about the passion for the job.
How did
Really.
you get how did you get the seal of approval?
So the Royal Warrant. So we've been working for the Royal Household for probably about 12 or 13 years. I'm not allowed to say too much about what we do, who we work for, and it is like that.
Right,
It is like that.
Secrecy.
But we do work for
Right.
the Royal Household. I'm allowed to say that, and I'm going to say we've been working for about 10 or 15 years.
Right.
But that's really about as much as I can say about it.
Really?
Yeah. So
Wow.
we got granted the Royal Warrant by the Queen
Right.
a couple of years ago. And then we've just recently been reappointed by His Majesty the King.
Did it get taken away then?
So everyone had to reapply. So every single company had to reapply for the warrant for the King. All the big companies like John Lewis, everybody. And you probably saw in the press that some of the companies didn't get it. Cadbury's didn't get it, and they had a company that had been taken away. So there was 800 and something warrants, and they whittled it down to 396, I believe, something around that number.
Okay. Right.
So we're really proud and lucky to have
that's-
it. So,
I'd be proud as well, yeah.
Absolutely.
What role do you play in the company?
So I'm one of the directors, so I'm involved in the day-to-day running the business, but primarily, really, I'm in engineering side of it, in maintenance, all the equipment, that sort of thing, procurement of machinery, purchasing, that sort of thing, but still day-to-day running, looking after the guys that work for us,
Sure.
that sort of thing. Me and my brother sort of do the day-to-day running, really, along with my mum works for us, sister-in-law, my wife works for us as well.
Give us an insight into the machinery. What are we talking about when you say
Well,
machinery?
nowadays it's moved on so much. We're looking big tractors, large wood chippers, forestry machines, winches, forwarders, small and large wood chippers, all sorts of stuff. You know, it's so different than it used to be now. It is machinery based, to mechanical handling of trees, really, to make the job easier and quicker.
So
ultimately.
it sounds like a company that's kind of there, ready to come in, cut a tree down that's opposing, and
Exactly,
like,
we
take it
can
away, yeah?
handle and tackle anything. We've got the
Right.
kit to do anything, really. So yeah,
and keeping trees and maintaining
absolutely.
them.
It is about the maintenance of the trees, really.
Sure.
Most of the time, it's looking after it. You know, only take it down when you absolutely have to.
Okay.
But it's all about the maintenance. We do planting, anything to do with trees. We do surveying. We've got surveyors that work for us.
Right.
Do scientific things called tomographies and all sorts of.
What's tomography?
Tomography is where they put sensors around the trees, and they'll put, say, radio waves through inside the tree to see if there's any decay in there. So there's not an invasive way to see if there's anything wrong with it, and it comes up on a computer screen.
Wow.
See what's wrong with it. So
Never heard of that before. What about diseases and all that sort of stuff? Because I understand there's I think King Charles, is kind of big on this as well.
Yeah, that's what at the moment we've got. At the moment, it's this ash dieback, which is affecting all the ash trees in the country, and it's devastating ash trees in the whole country, and that's creating a lot of work up and down. I think something easily like 10 million trees have got to come out or something,
right,
affecting all the trees, which is a real shame. And unfortunately, it's only really predominantly affecting the younger trees. So, which means the younger generation isn't growing up. It's a bit of a shame, but.
What about this little? I've heard about this little minute wasp that interferes with the oak.
That's just a common thing that's been going for a while. There's something called oak processionary moth,
right,
which is doesn't really affect the trees, but can be. It's not very nice for people climbing it. If you're working on the trees, they can give you rashes and things.
I've seen these things around, like scattered on the floor where acorns should be.
That's something.
Really
that's something to do. That's something to do with a wasp lays something inside that acorn, and then it does a genetic mutation of the acorn, I think. But I don't think it's actually affects the health of the tree. Right. It's something to do with the wasp goes into the acorn or something like that.
What about when? Because I'm just kind of forward thinking here.
Yeah.
Squirrels like the acorns, they take them away and bury them.
Yeah.
If they're burying something that's been mutated, how does that affect?
Don't think it's a problem. I think it's a natural thing, occurrence going on there. But I don't actually know, to be honest. Don't know about that. Scientific. So I'm the more the engineering side of it. I was the engineering side and maintenance.
And it's family run, isn't it? So
family run.
Works for you.
Yeah. So it's my dad. Yeah, my mum. My brother, my sister-in-law.
What does your brother do?
The brother is operations manager, so he does all the sort of day-to-day running, queuing the work in, dishing it out to all the guys and all that sort of thing. So, and sister-in-law, she does wins our contracts for us.
Windsor.
Wins the contracts.
Oh, sorry,
sorry. Does all the procurement. Yeah, does all the procurement for the contracts, all that sort of thing. And my wife does administration stuff for us as well. So.
Right.
Yeah, so it's right of family concern. But that's what makes the business how we are. It is that family connection. All of us putting our bit in with the same goal that's made us what we are. Really. Yeah.
It's obviously done well for itself.
Yeah, we're really proud of it. We really are. Yeah.
So mechanics is your.
It's my passion is mechanics and engineering. That's what I've always loved since I was a kid. Since I was a kid, I'd have my little toy Matchbox cars and I'd be breaking it apart to see how the wheels went round inside or something like that. It used to drive my dad nuts. But now, engineering is what I love. Yeah, and I always try to I can fix anything. I've always said I can fix anything, but always people giving me stuff saying, "Oh, can you fix this? Can you fix that?" And most of the time, I can't even. I've had a washing machine in bits putting bearings in it and all sorts.
Sound like one of them army recruit
I am.
adverts.
Yeah, I do. I love it. I love fixing things. Mad for it.
Gearboxes then? I would have thought was like one of the main contesters there. On a car, it's heavy enough, but on one of those huge, great big lorries that you'd be using to drag it, is that the sort of thing we're talking about?
Yeah, mechanical
How do you
engineering.
fit something like that?
I don't know. You just have to. There's a knowledge of how things go together. Years of experience, you sort of know how things work. I've always been interested in how anything works, whether it's been vehicles or whatever, or anything. I always have to know how something works, and I think all that experience passes on, and you just know how to do things.
So, tell me about. So, supposing we're in the middle of a forest, right, and there's a huge beach that's become dangerous or something that's got to be taken out.
Yeah.
What would be the procedure for getting that?
So somewhere in a forest is quite an easy way to do trees because there's nothing around it apart from other trees. So you haven't got a risk of hitting buildings or anything like that. But generally, you'd have something like a winch tractor would go in there, so big hydraulic winches to pull it over safely, and then a mechanical excavator would come in with a grapple saw on it to pick it up, cut it into pieces, and then process that through a wood chipper. And then the wood chip goes to power stations to burn for electricity. So nowadays it's all a usable product. Years ago you couldn't get rid of the stuff. Now everything gets chipped up.
But I bet it's different when you're in residential places then compared to if you have to. It's easy in a forest. But
that's right. Residential places when you've got domestic and you've got houses and fences and utility cables, that's where the skill of the tree surgeon really comes in. Tree surgery and forestry are completely
I
different.
suppose health and safety. As well,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we do both sides. We do tree surgery and forestry, but they are two completely different things.
I've got just outside my garden, just 3 foot beyond the fence, right? I've got this great big oak, and I want it taken down.
Yeah.
How much would you do it for?
No, keep it. Keep it. It's lovely. You want a beautiful oak tree. You want to keep it there.
Far too expensive.
Yeah, that's it. Keep it there.
He's got the king's
It's
seat
got
of the
it's
road,
got much more benefit. Keep it there.
The problem is, though, you see, there's this squirrel up the top of the tree, right?
Yeah.
I've noticed that he hasn't got a tail, so I know which one
Ah,
it is.
squizzy.
When we're sitting under there having a cup of tea in the morning, he starts throwing acorns.
Does he? He's like that, lobbing them down at you.
So I've said to him, right, this tree's going.
It's got to go.
You're going with it.
Someone told me once that squirrels were tree rats with a good press officer. Now I did laugh at that. That made me laugh.
Yeah.
I was like,
Well,
yeah,
actually, it's
right.
a bit of a delicacy in some countries.
They do, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah, imagine being served that up there rather than your chicken.
Bit of squirrel, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
With a squirrel.
Yeah.
So, Lee, you're a classic car enthusiast.
Yep.
In your spare time, you like to restore the odd BMW or two.
Yeah, I do.
Is this a nice escapism from your daytime role? And how does it differ? Please elaborate.
It's still engineering, but I think I got into BMWs by accident, really, and they are classic, but what we call modern classic. So they're 90s, late 90s, so they're 25, nearly 30 years old. I think it is an escapism from what I do. I don't know. It's still frustrating sometimes, and sometimes I wish I didn't do it because they are annoying. And
What about the selling? So you sell some of these?
yeah, I do buy and sell them because I know the cars so well. I know these classic BMWs so well, so I will see one that's in the market for a cheap price and think, and I'll know what it takes to get it going, and I'll make a few quid out of it.
Do you enjoy that side?
I do, yeah, I do, because I know the cars well, and particularly
What
marks of them.
inspired you about the BMW? Because I'm thinking, in my mind, if it was Will that said to me, "You're into BMWs," and I'm thinking, right, scratching my head. And then I'm thinking, Ferrari, Lamborghini, I can see it, but what is it about a BMW?
I can answer that one. The lad at work got me into them. He had a green one, which I've still got now, and I bought this car off him, and it was an absolute pile of junk. It was even ready for the scrap. And then I drove it, and then I just realised that BMW build their cars for the driver. For the something about driving them, they're built for the driver. You don't get from other cars. They're unbelievable for the driver. And they're older ones. The manufacturer is really good at supporting the older cars, which hardly any manufacturers do. So I can get all the parts, all the support for them on old cars. They like to support their old cars. Most other manufacturers, 15 years down the road, they go, that's it. You can't get any parts for this at the time. BMW,
Rover, didn't it?
yeah, BMW will keep going.
So if I got some, say, like a 1958 BMW old classic,
100%.
and I needed a piece,
Yeah, they'll still support it.
Really?
They still support it. Yeah, they're incredible. And if they don't have a stock of parts and they're out of production, they'll wait till enough orders come in from people, and then they'll do a run of stuff.
Right, okay.
They're really good like that.
So what's your model then?
So I've got two. I've got a 3 Series, which they call an E36. It's a coupe, which I've had that from. That was the one that was a bucket of junk that I bought up, and I take that to shows now. And then, but my pride and joy is my 7 Series. So I've got a 97 7 Series V12, 5.5 litre V12.
Wow. You smile when you
Yeah,
say
I love it.
that.
I do. I love it. I do absolutely love it. It was when it was new in '97. It was nearly £100,000 in 1997, and I spent a lot of time on it. But it's incredible. I love it. And I almost use it as a daily. I do. It's an amazing car.
One of the couple of things that sort of I can understand about a love for BMW motors, and I was in one once, and it was a friend of mine was driving, and we were doing about 50, 60 mile an hour, and this idiot in front was being an arsehole, and the only way to get out of trouble was to overtake it. And I'm thinking, how are you going to do that when you're doing 60 miles an hour? Right?
Yeah. You're gone. That's it. Yeah.
It's, so they're powerful old cars,
No, I love it.
Definitely.
They're right passion of mine.
Sorry, I've got a great story to tell you though. So I used to run a cleaning company many years ago, and one of our clients was a BMW garage. I'm not going to tell you where, but we had to do the forecourt, and we'd have to lift the motors up on the hydraulics so that we could scrub the floor underneath, right? And there was a 3 Series. It was on the ramp, and we needed to get it up in the air to get underneath it, right? But there was an RSJ going diagonally across the roof that I hadn't worked into my, sums. And
See where this is going.
yeah, so as I took, and the bonnet was open. That's the thing I forgot to mention, right? So as it went up, I saw the bonnet just go into 3, and I'm like, thought, oh my God, my business life is over. It's just, I don't know what I'm going to do. I pressed the button to bring it down and pressed the wrong one, so I sent it up more, right? So it was, you can imagine, can't you, right? And then when finally I got it, started bringing it back down, the lid of this bonnet, right, just went, and just bent back into shape, right? And I'm thinking, oh my God, this it's not going to look too bad. I might have got away with this, right? So when I brought it down to here, I've like got the bonnet and just put it back to see where, how much shit I'm in, and it just fitted perfectly. You'd never have known there was a problem with it. So my friends, is like,
And you're saying the engineering is great.
That's it, yeah.
That's been a lovely story. So we've got something to say about
Someone's
that,
got that car somewhere. Goes, do you know what? Its bonnet's all right. Do you know what? Something's happened to it. No.
However, in the same establishment, right, there was another time, there was a 7 Series, and something had gone wrong, right, and it couldn't find it on the computer, so the whole engine was in bits all around the...
I know the pain.
Imagine that.
7 Series pain.
Yeah. So
Exactly
if you could
that.
get any BMW, would you that you liked, and you had the money to do it, what would it be? A really old vintage classic?
No, do you know
they go
what?
back, don't they?
No, honestly, it's the one I've got.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when
Right.
I was 16, I went to the motor show. I was caught with my mate, and I always loved BMWs. And this big 7 Series was on the BMW stand in 1998, and I was just drooling over it. And unbelievably, it's the same colour as the one I've got as well.
Right.
And
Okay.
it's that car I've always
fell in
wanted.
love.
I
You
did.
fell in
I
love.
thought, yeah. When I got the car about 3 years ago, my dad had gone, mum and dad had gone on holiday, and I went to pick them up from the airport in the evening, and Dad didn't know I had this car. And when I come into the North Terminal, I drove on the corner, he said he saw this car come on the corner, he's gone, God, that's Lee's dream car, that is. And he's went, fucking hell, it's Lee that's in it.
He's got it.
It was
Yeah,
Lee,
well
couldn't
done.
believe it.
Brilliant. What about the history of BMWs? Anyone know
Yeah.
much about that?
No, they go back, I think they started making their engines in the Second World War, I believe, something like that. For airplanes, because I think the badge is a propeller. I think
that's right.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
similar to
Something like
Rolls-Royce
that.
and
Yeah,
that,
I think so.
right?
Yeah. Something like
Aircraft
that.
engines,
Mm,
yeah.
I think
There
that's
was
what they
a
come
lot
back.
of-
First World War, I think.
Was it the
actually,
first?
Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah,
back to.
yeah. That's pretty incredible, isn't
Yeah.
it? All those planes back at that time would have been like, absolutely necessary for the defence of the country.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I think, because I was reading somewhere and just reading up about this, that BMW actually nearly went bust.
Yeah.
Because the guy that invented it, or was trying to get this going, and it was his dream idea. But he nearly went down the pan, and it was the First World War that saved him, because they needed
crikey.
these
Yeah.
planes to.
Yeah, there's always a lot of money in war.
Yeah, the German engineering. I think the war, Mercedes, they were the same thing.
Didn't Mercedes and BMW join at one point?
Was that Audi?
Or did they
GM?
separate? Did they start off together? There was
can't
something
remember.
in there.
I was in the Mercedes museum recently, and I can't be seeing that.
I'm
maybe.
sure there's a connection.
Yeah,
anyway.
there must be. Bayer Motorworks, BMW stands for, doesn't it?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty technical, isn't it?
Unless we're
We
going
know our
right
stuff,
stuff
don't
on,
we?
we've got
We
right stuff
know
on one
it,
here,
so-
haven't we? Yeah.
Autobahn.
Yeah.
Nice one. Above all else, Lee, you are known for being the drummer of The Gas, a local indie outfit.
Yes.
You have had a couple of records produced
Yeah.
and have recently played at the Hoof.
Yep.
How was that experience, and can you tell us a little more about band life?
Oh, the whole thing it was a pinnacle with The Gas, 100%. We'd done lots of gigs in different places, but the Hall was something else. Everything just went right on the night. We practiced hard for that, and it went really well. But The Gas, I started The Gas I was back with Will in I think 2007, I believe. I was back then. Yeah, I was a new drummer. I didn't start drumming until late. I was 27, which was a bit late, and I'd been in a couple of local bands, not done very well. Put an advert in the Friday ad, and Will replied to me, unbeknown to me, that we'd gone to school together in Whispering First School, I believe.
I think we met 2 weeks before that, we met at the
didn't we?
at the pub
Yeah.
watching a band.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
you said you were drumming, and I said I'll have to get hold of you. And then, as I always did back then, I looked in the Friday ad. And I rang you, and I went,
yeah.
"Oh, shoot!"
And there we are. And
Christ, I thought you two were youngsters now.
No, and I've been Will's
20
drummer
years, that is.
ever since.
Yeah. No, we went to school at West Green when we was like 4 years old.
Yeah.
4 years old.
Yeah.
It was something like that, wasn't it? Yeah, the Gas has been an incredible experience, really. It's been such a life to it as well, which has been nice. You know, a lot of bands, they don't get on, and you know, they last a few years and they're out. But you know, I could see where he was coming from. Will was the driving force of the band, and I think you need to have a leader that's got a vision, and Will's always had that.
He's a bit of a bully, though, isn't he?
Yeah, but I think you need to be. Do you know what I mean? I think you need to have a vision and say, do you know what? Fuck it. This is where I want the band to go. This is what I want us to do, and everyone has to say yes, boss. And I think that's what it needs, and that's what it works.
Yeah.
And you know, it's been really good.
But
The
not
Gas
only
is.
that, though, Lee. You've progressed. I mean, we've all progressed.
Yeah,
haven't we, though?
Yeah, we have.
Progressed.
Yeah.
Because just from literally.
Yeah, you know, Will's put up with me.
Practicing.
Put up with me as a
shut
drummer.
up.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
I
that's
think
it.
everyone's put up with me. You know, I'm like frightened.
I'm not. I don't consider myself. I'm not a technical drummer because I started so late.
You've become.
What I've done now, because I'm not technical and I couldn't learn some of the technical stuff because I started so late. So what I've thought to myself is, right, I need to be known for something else. So I try to put some energy and passion into my drumming and control as well.
That's more than
and
that.
that's what I'm sort of without. So I can't do the technical stuff, but I can try and bring something else to it to make me individual and
that's
make
what
me.
makes people good musicians.
I think
Yeah.
sounds great, mate.
Yeah.
It's all good. as
No,
far
I
as I'm
love the Gas.
concerned.
It's been brilliant.
What's some of the good songs?
Oh, do you know what? I've liked some of the old ones. Monkey, absolutely killer song. The Cat Dragged In was one of our first proper single we really recorded well. That's been absolutely knockout. But yeah, I always loved Old Monkey. That's such a banging tune. But yeah, Cat Dragged In, you can't knock that. With the
Wasn't
video,
that video
yeah,
locally?
we've done the video for that, and then we did the Low Life as well. Again with the video, both of them incredible.
Lot like you and me.
experiences. Yeah, lot like you and me. Yeah. And that had a different style of drumming to it
Yeah.
as well. I played slightly different to that. It was nice to do something for me.
Fair, didn't you pick it?
Yeah, I
picked
did,
it. We
yeah,
went,
yeah.
if you can play that. We'll
Yeah, I
play
did a
something
different
around
sort
it.
of. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, really, really good.
How many sticks, Jeff?
Oh Christ! I've got a bag. Probably it's got about 30 in it. But I'm one of these people. I'll have a pair of sticks and I'll go, oh, that's got a bit more life on that, and I'll use it, and then it'll break on me or something.
Okay. You're one of
Sometimes-
these guys that keeps a pack of them like.
Yeah,
like,
I'll
sling
have
on
a
your
bag, yeah, but
Yeah.
there'll be a set of sticks on its last legs, and I like the way they feel.
okay,
I'm not one of
yeah,
these drummers who go, I need a new set every time. I'll hang it out to the end, to the absolutely naked.
Do they get worn out?
They do, yeah. Especially with me, I'm quite a hard-hitting drummer, so on the hi-hats, they get chipped away quite a lot, and they get further. And when you're playing, sometimes you can feel where they're about to go. You get this weird feeling in your wrist, like, yeah, this is going to go, it's going to go. Normally halfway through a song, playing live or something, the stick's going to go. Yeah, you can feel it.
I'm today years old.
You can just feel it, it's going to go.
So what about the actual, like the drum surfaces and the hi-hat? Do they wear out?
The cymbals don't, but the skins, they do. If you're going recording and stuff, you have to replace the skins quite a lot because I think the tonal sound of them changes and they need to be spot on. But if you're playing out, rehearsing and live, you can get away with the skins. Snare skins you have to replace quite a lot because they do wear, but the rest of them have a bit of life to them. They're not too bad.
Moving into a sort of like, you know, the life of a drummer, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I play a bit of guitar, and I think we all do that here, you know.
Yeah.
But like, you turn up to a gig, and you might have to have an amp and a guitar.
Yeah.
But I always think, I'm glad I'm not the drummer because I see them like working all that stuff through and unpacking it and setting it up and
Yeah,
putting
it gets
down.
worse than that because I'm a left-handed drummer, and that causes
How can
so
you be a
many
left-handed
problems.
Drummer? What's that mean?
So the kit has to be spun round the other way.
Joking.
Yeah, so every drummer will have their
Nuisance.
will have their
Nuisance.
hi-hat on the left-hand side,
Oh,
but I
shit.
don't. I've got have my hi-hats on the right.
I never imagined
Yeah,
that.
and it
Right.
causes
You wanna
all
see-
sorts of
You
problems
wanna see the
playing
look-
live.
You want to see the look people give you when you tell them.
Oh, they
to
do,
give
yeah,
you, tell them you got
they
a
do.
left-handed drummer.
You do because you get chucked on last, so they don't have to move. It does my nutting, I'll tell you. We've had fallouts over it. Yeah.
I just can't get my head around it. It's like having a left-handed hammer.
But I
right?
can play right-handed. When we first started, I broke my left leg, which is the kick drum, and I played a gig and spun it round the other way and played with my right foot. Do you remember? I actually did a gig with a broken leg.
Jesus, that's mad.
Yeah. That was years ago.
That's been great, Lee. But we're going to change gear now, and it's time for the quick fire round.
Oh,
It's one or the other.
yeah,
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Apples or oranges?
Apples. Granny
Right.
Smiths.
Granny Smith, yeah, I like old Granny Smith. Nice and green. Wine or beer?
Beer.
Curry or fish and chips?
Curry all day long.
Red or blue?
Blue.
In or out?
In.
Oasis or Blur?
Oasis.
EastEnders or Coronation Street?
Neither, they're both shite.
Yeah, that's fair enough answer. Pasta or rice?
Rice.
Day or night?
All day.
Deep pan or thin crust?
Thin crust.
Ketchup or brown sauce?
Brown sauce.
Sweet or sour?
Sour.
Mars or Snickers?
Snickers.
Spanish or French?
French.
Waltzers or Dodgems?
Ooh, Dodgems, because they don't make me sick.
Star Trek or Star Wars?
Oh, neither. Never watched them. Would you believe it? Probably.
Oh, really?
Honestly, I'm one of
Okay,
the few
fair enough.
people that
Well,
never done them.
You wouldn't be able to answer that
Gemini,
one.
No.
Gemini.
Yeah, get out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Swan or Dove?
Swan
Metallica or Van Halen?
or Metallica
Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter?
or Ballytrotter, I suppose. Yeah.
Walkers or Pringles?
Walkers.
Liverpool or Manchester?
Don't do football.
North or south?
Or South.
Left or right?
Got to be left, innit?
Nice. Okay, Lee. Are you sitting comfortably?
Yes.
It's time for your deep dive question.
Oh, Christ. Go on.
Were the moon landings faked, and have we ever really been into outer space?
Oh, were they faked? Probably not. But if someone had proof, I wouldn't be surprised. But it would probably be more complicated than, oh, they faked it because they couldn't be asked to go to the moon or something like that. It'd be more to the case they'd already been there and needed to fake it or something.
Oh, it's tantalising.
It is.
Isn't it?
It's
so
not.
tantalising.
It's not quite.
I mean,
as-
the graphics they show like now compared to
yeah.
There's something fishy, bruv.
They probably didn't, but I would not be surprised if someone said, you know what, here's the proof they didn't go there. I'll go, sounds like the Americans, doesn't it? Yeah.
For me, I couldn't believe it in my wildest dreams. I think it's a total load of old codswallop.
You're just never happened, never went into.
Absolutely not.
It didn't happen. That's
Totally.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of evidence that floors it anyway. So one of the biggest things was Las Vegas around the same when Buzz Aldrin or whatever his name is and Neil Armstrong was supposed to be up visiting the moon. They were spotted in Las Vegas.
Oh right, I didn't know
Right,
that.
so that's
I'll tell you a good one that you won't know, that Neil Armstrong, his name is alien back.
I know. I saw that and I was like, that blew my mind. I was like, really? Yeah. No, that is.
that's interesting.
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
That's not just thrown in your face,
But
is it?
there's a few things, right? So the other one is, right, so they've had these guys look at the pictures and the footage of the moon landings, right? So one of the things was, so they've landed on the surface of the moon, directly where the sun's hitting the moon, right? Yeah. And yet they're casting these shadows all over the place.
You're saying the shadows are wrong.
Yeah.
The shadows are all wrong.
Right.
So,
Do
okay.
you know what shadows look like on the moon?
No, but what they say is there's light sources from all different directions apart from up above. Right?
I just think it's just crazy, isn't it? Like, this is what we're sitting here, but
Yeah,
I
it's
think
crazy.
about it that when I was younger, it was something that was really talked about. I was born in '76.
Yeah.
So as I
I
was,
remember seeing it as well, yeah.
No, I didn't see it, but because I was born in '76.
Okay.
But as I came through, everything was all my toys were all space toys. It was all like your mum and dad talked about it, like, oh, everybody watched it on the telly. It was all taught in school. We went to the moon. It's like, did we?
Well, we were proud,
Did we
weren't we?
really?
Because we were like part of America in a kind of way, right?
Right.
Now, America were in a rush to get to the moon before Russia, right? Because this was a Cold War time.
Yeah, but they'd
right?
already been in space, hadn't they?
They'd
The
already
Russians
been in
were
space.
first,
Yeah,
weren't they?
but really? I mean, are we buying this?
I don't know.
The other interesting one is, right, so Neil Armstrong was the first to come down the ladder, right, to step on the moon, right? And there's a lovely picture of him as he's coming down. Who was it down there that was taking the picture?
Well, their answer that they say
They
is
got a
that,
strap-on camera.
that it was a robot camera from
Yeah.
the landing thing and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I mean, this
That's
thing.
pretty
have you seen-
sophisticated.
what gets to me the most is when you see that like structure thing that they sent to the moon. It's got like duct tape.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It looked like something out of a cornflake box, doesn't it?
There's no fucking chance.
Yeah.
Man, that went.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
apparently you can't get through the Van Halen belts,
Right.
but you can, but you can't.
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
Well, here's an interesting thing as well, right? So, Stanley Kubrick, right? So he's got this film at the time called
Space Odyssey
Space,
2000.
yeah,
Oh
exactly
yeah,
that,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so there's a lot of theory that the CIA turned up and said, you know, we're going to borrow your studio, right? And one of the other things as well about those moon landings, the pictures, there was no blast. So
Oh yeah, where they come down,
yeah,
the
right. So
blast crater.
that's
Yeah.
another thing, right?
Interesting.
So Stanley Kubrick, right? So just suppose him for a minute, right? You're Stanley Kubrick, right? The CIA have turned up and they've taken over your studio, right? Are you going to tell anybody? Are you going to, like, you know, tell the world that actually the moon landings didn't
Well,
happen?
apparently he
because
did it in his films, didn't
he
he?
did it in his films, but he wouldn't go out and just say it because otherwise there'd be no Stanley Kubrick anymore, right?
What was the film?
The Shining.
Oh,
Right.
can't watch that film. Oh,
I know, it's
scary.
scares the shit out of you, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it's
What a
just one of
great
those
film.
psychological films that just completely melts your brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
The little kid running round on his bike round the corridors, and the girls just
I know.
standing like, "Oh my god,
Yeah,
that's
I can do
it." Yeah,
that.
Sometimes
yeah, so,
I really feel for him as well when the barman says to him, "But sir, you've been here forever. You've
Oh,
always been
that's-
here."
Yeah,
I'm
I've got-
thinking,
I've
oh
got-
my
it's a
God, it's me.
brilliant
I keep
film.
thinking
But,
I want to go and watch it, but then I think,
yeah,
nah, I'm
not
never
11:30 at night when the lights off, and you're thinking, "Why am I watching this?"
better than Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
But do you know what? The kid's wandering around with Apollo 2 on his T-shirt and a rocket taken off, right?
Yeah.
In the book, the number of that room where nobody wants to go to
Yeah.
is 227 or something.
It's
But
like, yeah.
what he's done is he's put it 237, which is the amount of miles, 237,000
To the moon.
miles to the moon.
It's crazy, isn't it?
That's
Right.
a bit like that of Warner von Braun. Listen to me. Warner von Braun?
Right.
Warner von Braun! On his gravestone, wasn't it? He was the inventor of the rockets for the
Oh,
Nazis
okay.
that got bought over in paperclip for the
Oh, yeah.
Americans.
Yeah.
Built the rocket that went to the moon,
Mm-hmm.
apparently, and on his gravestone he put the psalm in the or the numerals for the Bible verse that said something about how great God's firmament is.
Mental,
Do
isn't
you
it?
not know that one?
No, I
I
don't
didn't
know.
know. I didn't know. But mental stuff and
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, well. So the moon landing. What
Yeah.
are we saying then?
So-
What are we saying?
I'm saying undecided, but wouldn't be surprised. That's where yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying they weren't fake, but I wouldn't be surprised. There you go.
Yeah.
I'll put money on it.
Because you're never going to know nothing. Like
Yeah, but you touched on deep space on your question as well.
Yeah, aliens.
And I think, I don't think we're, as a civilization, are able to comprehend deep space at all. The
absolutely
mileages
not, no,
and
yeah.
the stuff that's out there is crazy when you look at it.
So it's one of two things. They're faking it and telling us, or they're doing it
Yeah.
and not telling us.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think the alien thing as well is kind of like out there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because, people are stuck on that question, is there aliens out there? But I think to me, there's like 100 billion different types of species of life on this planet alone. How can there not be?
That's it. It's
Something else out
the,
there,
The chances are probably there's going to
Yeah.
be.
I can quash it in one single blow, and that is the simplicity of it is people with spears still getting their foot in rainforest and thinking, when a plane flies over, it's a god.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. What is that? Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's the same as that. There's just always going to be another level
there's something in there.
of something. I mean, that's why would we think that we are just the limit of it?
Yeah, there's going to be something. There's got to be something.
Oh no, it's us. We're
that's
the
it. We're done.
Yeah.
We're just an accident.
No, we're
an accident waiting
on
to
this
happen.
planet. We're the dominant force on this planet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Used to be tigers and lions until we killed them.
Saber-toothed tigers.
Yes,
What do you know?
It's just crazy.
Yeah, totally.
Well, Lee, thanks for being so open and honest with us. But before we wrap things up, we have a couple more questions for you.
Go on then.
Which famous person, dead or alive, has inspired you and why?
Oh, inspired me. Oh, that's a curveball. That's a good question. I don't know really. Inspiration. I tell you what, I've been reading and thinking about lots, and is Greek mythology and the way the Greeks basically invented the way of thinking and all that sort of thing. I've been reading and thinking about that. They just, before the Greeks come about and started thinking about stuff, people were just stabbing each other for no reason. No idea.
So
what
we have to come forward.
no idea what was going on. Literally, and then the Greeks come along and start thinking. Hang on a minute, let's start thinking about stuff properly. And I've been reading a lot about them recently, and I don't know. I just get
Come and indulge me.
Just that change from where they to where we are now is because of them. A lot to where we are now. We've got to be thankful for the Greeks. They basically invented a lot.
That's what's inspired. They've
inspired.
Yeah,
I think so. And just that, just that sort of inspiration and.
Well,
moving forward.
narcissism come from Greek mythology, didn't it?
They
knew about
probably
him.
come up with a lot of stuff.
Wasn't he an Adonis that fell in love with his own shadow?
Oh, don't know that one. No, I'll have to look at that one.
That's, Narcissus. Yeah, that's a bit of a strange one. Right, this is a two-part question.
Mm.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years' time, probably pretty much where I am. So my family's quite young at the moment-ish. So, I think probably going to be the business and work will be pretty much the same. Hope still to be drumming a bit, doing a bit. I like to keep my hand in, still doing a bit of drumming, and probably am wasting too much money and time on old bloody BMWs.
Yeah, lovely. Where do you see the country heading in the same time span?
Oh, 5 years. I think without getting too deep into politics, I think people are going to wake up and smell the coffee where we are at the moment, and I think there'll be a change again. And politically there'll be a change again. I think they're not going to. People aren't going to put up with what's going on at the moment.
You seeing sort of a Trump-esque type thing coming to Britain,
maybe? Maybe, but I hope not quite to his style, because he's obviously not ideal.
What, like anarchy?
Not quite anarchy, but I think the problem with what's going on with the UK and everything is tricky. It's
so
the
where
same
do you
thing.
see the country in 5 years' time?
The country is probably going to have a change of government, probably again, but I don't think anything as strong as anarchy or anything like that would be happening. Change of government. It doesn't.
No uprising.
And that'll be uprising. We tend to just plod on and do the same thing, decade in, decade out, don't we? Nothing really actually changes much. And then
hamsters on a wheel.
Yeah, someone says, "Well, we'll have change," and then change comes in, and then change actually is pretty much worse than what we had before. You know.
Yeah.
So we are what we are, and compared to some, we're not doing too bad. So
that's it. I'm right, Jack.
Yeah, it's complicated, isn't it?
Yeah, very.
It's very complicated.
Okay, we have one more special feature where we give you the right to rant. You have 30 seconds to rant about anything that really annoys you.
Anything.
Trivial. Whatever you want. The floor is yours. Take it away.
Right, this is trivial, but it pisses me off. How come you can swear on Radio 4, but you can't swear on every other bloody radio station at all? Even say the S word, and they all panic and say, "Oh no, you can't say that, apologies. Listen to Radio 4 for an hour or two. Oh, they say every swear word under the sun." Does my absolute head in. But there you go.
10 seconds left.
10 seconds. Oh, another one. People in shopping trolleys in supermarkets that hang over them and use them as a support to shuffle around supermarkets. That does my head in as well. Trivial things. There's much more important things going on.
Okay.
But them two things.
Leave it there.
That's it.
It's been a pleasure having you on the show, Lee, and we hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. Please come again.
Brilliant. Thank you, Clive. Really loved it. Thank you very much for having me.
And we hope you've enjoyed it too. We'll see you next time on Behind the Scenes Britton with me, Clive Britton.